Hi there, I'm Zammtopia, author of the award-winning book Intuition, Discover the Inner Workings of Our World, which is available on Amazon, by the way, both in Kindle and in print. And I'm also known as Tarot Zamm to many of my clients from all over, who I always guide individually and personally. In the past, we've discussed, I made short videos talking about if you're in search of a tarot reader. So the first video I did with that topic, I discussed 3 things you need to know when looking for a tarot reader. And then the second follow-up video was why and when do we go for a tarot reading. And today I would like to discuss how long of a tarot reading do I need and how often should I have my cards read. So firstly, the question is, how long of a tarot reading do I need? So that really depends on many factors. Firstly, if you go to a tarot reading as an initial consultation, I would suggest that you go for at least an hour. Well, an hour is really ample. But if you go less than an hour, it might not be enough. Especially if you have many concerns. Why? Because with me personally, I always start with an open reading, because with an open reading, many aspects of your concerns, whether you know them or not, or you might be overlooking them, are being brought forward. And those concerns are the most important things that you need to deal with. And after the open reading, which usually opens up many things that you would like to explore and go deeper, there are also your particular concerns that you have prepared before the tarot reading. So imagine if you've got the open reading plus following up on whatever insight the open reading gave you plus your personal concerns, then an hour would be enough. You might say, even if it's just half an hour, I just have, short concerns. Yeah, you can also do that, definitely. But I tell you what, based on my experience, many first-time clients who come to me with half an hour, with the value that they get from the insight, they usually say, I should have booked for an hour instead of half an hour, because they just feel that we were rushed and the time was not enough. And you should never go into a tarot reading rushing things and feeling that the time is not enough. Why? Because it also lessens your conduciveness to whatever insight is given, because you keep looking at the watch thinking, how much time do I have left? What else can I ask? Especially if you are unprepared. So that's one. Now, if, for example, you just go for a follow-up, then of course you can book for maybe 15 minutes if you just have one question to follow up, and maybe half an hour if you have 1 to 3 questions. But it also depends with how deep you want to go during the reading. So that's my suggestion. Now the second part of the question is, how often should I have my cards read? That is very important. In my practice and in my experience, my clients know me. When we have a reading, I really advise them to work on the insight and the reading before they come for a follow-up. Why? Because if you come for a follow-up asking the same questions and expecting a different answer when you really haven't worked on the insight and the previous reading, then you're just giving yourself a big disservice and wasting your time and your resource, which is money. So you have to ask yourself, why do you even have to do that, right? So you can go for a follow-up when a lot of things have happened because you've worked on the reading and the insight, and there are new ideas or new situations that is not included in the previous reading that you want to explore. By all means, that really, necessitates a tarot reading if you feel that you would benefit from it. Now, there's another path towards follow-up tarot readings. I also do coaching, and you can actually work depending on your relationship with your tarot reader. With me, they can work with me continuously, but in having said continuously, it's not like having a reading and then coming for another reading in 2 weeks time without any development and asking the same questions. No, 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 no. The continuous guidance works in such a way that, yes, you work on the previous insight, and then when something happens, you come back to me, we set a date and we explore this. We even strategize together so that you've got answers, and not just that, but you've got a proper plan to really act upon your tarot reading. So those are the times when you need to follow up. Make sure that there's a reasonable gap because you've worked on your reading first. If, for example, you encounter a tarot reader wherein you can just book every week asking the same questions, then I don't know what to say, but except that perhaps you should question why you're doing this to yourself. Not even question why the tarot reader is allowing that to happen, but you ask yourself why you're doing this. Remember, you go for a tarot reading because you want to be helped. And lastly, and before I forget, you go into a tarot reading because you are ready to act upon it. And when you're ready to act upon it, the follow-ups that you will have will be based on the actions that you've done, will be based on the results of the actions that you've done, and would necessitate a new set of insight and a new set of guidance. So I hope that helped you. Until the next time, many blessings. This is Zamm.